You show up at Southern Miss, you're 7th on the depth chart.
Yeah, I was last. I say 7th. Several guys got hurt or were on, like, inactive or whatever. So really, I was probably about 10th. But these guys were not active. So, yeah, I was last.
So you're last. You show up there. You're having a good time. You're in college. And the legend is when you finally get a shot against Tulane, you come in, do a Brett Favre, first taste of a Brett Favre comeback win and a big rally, and you do it hungover.
I'd had a couple of beers the night before. Honestly, I had about 2 or 3 beers. So we go pregame warm-ups, and I'm sweating bullets, probably reeked like a beer keg. And right before the end of the second quarter, right before halftime, we're down 17-3, and the head coach, Jim Carmody, looks over at me. And it was really an ugly day, and he's like, "You get loose, you're going in." Well, I think I still had a little loopiness in my, because I was like, damn, he wants me to punt. I was a backup punter. I thought, why in the hell would he put me in at quarterback? So I was over there stretching my leg.
Not throwing at all.
Not throwing at all. And I'm as flexible as a 2x4, you know, so I'm over there doing these. And I'm kind of feeling I'm kind of like, a little second wind. I'm going in to punt. I think back now, I'm like, what an idiot. No one goes in as a backup punter. It's not like, no matter if you're up by 50, they don't say, hey, put Favre in the punt. They still do that.
No.
The punter always stays in. And that was probably the bright spot for our team that day, was the punter. And so we go out the second half, and I go in, and I'll never forget. I'm telling you, when I went in at Green Bay, it was the same exact scenario, but the starting 5 offensive linemen at Southern Miss that year were all 5th-year seniors. I was 17 years old. October 10th, I was turning 18. So I was young. These guys were 22, and they were all just offensive linemen. And it can be like slobby and sarcastic, especially old ornery ones. It was a small crowd, as it always was at Southern Miss, but everybody was kind of like, yeah, all right. Try something new, come on. So I go in the huddle, and I'm like, all right, guys, we're going to win the game. And they were like, hey, just shut the hell up, call the play. We ain't got time for this shit, come on. I was like, oh, okay. So I'm running around, and we came back and won the game. We didn't run shotgun back then. It was option, toss sweep, sprint out throws, very little drop back reading type stuff.
They still don't know what you can do.
They still don't know what I can do, but I think they got a taste of maybe we don't want to tell him anything. Maybe we just say, do whatever it is you do. And I really didn't know, but running the wishbone and the few times we threw, I knew I could throw it, and I could throw it from anywhere on the field. I was not fast, but I could get away from a lot of people. I just had a knack for buying time. And it was funny, the first pass in that game against Tulane was a 7-step drop. And I was not real keen on drops. I was still kind of, okay. My drops were,
Right.
Oh, there comes somebody, one of those. That's the way I drop back. So the first 7, I just remember my coach, Jack White, we were watching film the next day, and he says, how many steps drop was that? Is that supposed to be? And I was like, I think that's a 7-step drop. He said, how many did you take? And I said, hold on, back up, coach. 1, 2, 3, 4. I said, that was 9. And I completed the pass. So I thought, man, this is awesome. He goes, when I tell you to run a 7-step drop, run a 7-step drop. I'm like, what's the big deal? I said, I completed the pass. He probably thinking, I don't think this guy gets it. But
that's something.
But we can work with this,